Pressure can be measured by using a number of devices. The most common type of service gauge used by refrigeration and air conditioning technicians is the manifold gauge. The manifold gauge has two gauges. The blue gauge is used for low pressure and the red gauge is used for high pressure. The low pressure compound gauge, or the blue gauge, is used to read low pressures on the split system. This gauge can be connected to the split system to check the refrigerant pressures. It can also be used when vacuuming out the split system to a negative pressure, so the system can be isolated from the vacuum pump after the desired vacuum has been achieved. Only pressures up to 22,000 kilopascals can be measured on this gauge. The high pressure gauge, or red gauge, is used to read high pressures on the split system. This gauge can be used when pressure testing split systems with dry nitrogen, which is carried out at higher pressures than the refrigerant operates at in the system. It can also be used on older split systems with two service valves and can be connected to the high side of the split system to check the high side refrigerant pressures. Pressures of over 5,000 kilopascals can be measured. Another pressure gauge, which must be used when pressure testing with dry nitrogen to test a system for leaks, is a pressure regulator. It is used to limit the amount of bottle pressure which is under extremely high pressures. The nitrogen pressure regulator is showing a pressure of 260 psi, or approximately 1820 kilopascals. The bottle pressure is 1350 psi, or approximately 9450 kilopascals. Always ensure that an approved pressure regulator is fitted to a nitrogen bottle before opening. Failure to fit a regulator can cause the nitrogen bottle to act as an uncontrolled missile if opened, leading to serious injury. Nitrogen cylinder pressures can exceed 20,000 kilopascals. Vacuum gauges are used to measure very low pressures, below 0 kPa(g), and use the following scales: microns, torr, millimeters of mercury, and pascals or kilopascals. Vacuum gauges are commonly referred to as VacStats and can measure as low as 10 microns. VacStats must be used as per the Refrigerant Handling Code of Practice when evacuating a split system. Some types of pressure gauges include a manometer, a Magnehalic, and a barometer. A manometer is usually a U-tube 600 ml water column used for checking low pressures. It can be used to measure air pressures of supply air fans. A Magnehalic is used to measure pressure drop or variation across air conditioning filters or duct pressures. A barometer measures atmospheric pressure. It is commonly used in weather forecasting.